Well, each quarter, including this one, there's always the speculation by the market that competition is going to erode margins. Competition is going to erode share. Competition is going to slow growth. And yet, that has not happened. There is no company yet that's transitioned to the effectiveness and the efficiency and the productivity that Tesla has around drivetrain, around engine, around chipsets, around batteries.
Sure.
So there's a moat around Tesla because it was, the first mover, but they've maintained their share through innovation. Everybody criticizes this guy for a million different reasons. But at the end of the day, when you ask somebody if you want to buy an EV, what do they want? They want a Tesla.
So yeah, people are clearly waking up to the story. Now, typically on Tesla Shareholder Days, we get a recap of the past year and highlights of what was accomplished. This year, in addition, we got some new data and ultimately we have a better understanding of this new look Tesla. First and foremost, Elon looked healthy and sounded like he was highly focused, locked in, and in good spirits about the current status of Tesla, the progress being made, and the unfathomable future potential of Tesla for long-term investors, despite being rooted in reality that the next 12 months will be challenging given macro factors like high interest rates and credit tightening. I do want to say, there were some very good investor questions, but there were also a few wasted ones in my opinion. Look, these investors traveled to be there so they can ask whatever they want, but questions like Optimus on Mars, Aptera, and even Gary Black again looking for Tesla's pricing strategy on the Model Y were unfortunate to me. I mean, how many times does Tesla have to tell us they will price their cars to clear their production and meet demand? But I digress. Part of the new look Tesla now officially has JB Straubel on the Tesla board, exactly where he belongs, so congratulations to JB and to Tesla for this stellar addition. And because I know this will be overlooked and forgotten about, Elon out of nowhere committed to doing a third-party audit on mining in the DRC. Now, Tesla already makes a majority of its battery packs with LFP chemistry requiring no cobalt, but this just goes to show how much Tesla really cares about doing the right thing. It's a shame that people shouting about the DRC child labor fail to acknowledge the phones they are using actually have 100% cobalt, but I don't see them protesting that. Each time we look at Tesla employment data, remember to multiply these figures by 5 or so to account for the total job creation throughout the supply chain, including jobs and activity created for contractors and the like. So Tesla is really supporting over 500,000 jobs with activity geared toward building a safer and brighter future.
I'd say this is generally the case. If you look at any given company and say, where are the most smartest, most driven people going to work? That company is going to win.
Before we get too far removed from reading between the lines, how about this? Elon said Tesla's stationary battery storage production would eventually be well in excess of 500 gigawatt hours per year. That would be at least 8 more megapack factories in addition to the 2 that we know about so far. 500 gigawatt hours is 500,000 megawatt hours. Divide that by 3.9 megawatt hours per megapack, and you get 128,205 megapacks made per year. Multiply that by about $2 million per megapack, and that's $256 billion in annual megapack revenue, which at 30% margins, which Elon reiterated at the event, that's $76.9 billion in annual profit from stationary storage alone. Divide that by about 3.4 billion diluted shares outstanding means that's worth about $22 in earnings per share. So how many Wall Street analysts are discounting back this type of future cash flow? I would confidently say 0. This will be a new look for Tesla indeed. And shout out to Tesla Boomer Mama for asking the question about peak margins. She got Elon to throw out a speculative number of 80% on the auto side when robotaxis hit, and that 30% on the battery storage side. And today, VW just said they're aiming for margin parity on some EVs by 2025, and even that is not a sure thing. Tesla has margins greater than ICE vehicles right now. And here we have a legacy United States OEM ordering a gigapress from Idra. This would have never happened without Tesla. Success leaves clues, and everyone is quietly copying Tesla to the best of their ability, which so far honestly hasn't been great. We know the Cybertruck is going to give Tesla a new look, and first customer deliveries are still on track for later this year. But Elon made a very bold statement about the truck.
And I think the product, if anything, is better than expectations.
And we also got some clarity on what Elon is guessing for Cybertruck production when ramped.
But I'd say it's, $250,000 a year is a reasonable guess. And it might be 500,000, I don't know, but we'll make as many as people want.
However, there is a new look here that may not be so positive. Elon said it was going to be hard to make the cost affordable. I would interpret this to mean the Cybertruck pricing is going to be nowhere near the prices that were shared at the Unveil event. Obviously, we were expecting higher prices given inflation over the years, but I think Elon was trying to set expectations of higher pricing for the Cybertruck here.
And then, like I said, it's going to be hard to make the cost affordable because it is a new car, new manufacturing method.
Despite this, plenty of people are ready and willing to pay.
It's going to be a boom because that crazy looking vehicle has already shown its popularity on pre-orders 2 years ago.
Why?
I want one. I think they're nuts. And I think it would be a lot of fun to drive a tank, because that's what it is. But now a tank where you don't have to feel guilty about it. It's an EV. But it's got a lot of room. It's a very interesting vehicle. It's got a really ugly look. Ugly is interesting. And, to be honest with you, I've got investments in providers that are providing technology for that truck. And we know the demand is huge. It's huge.
This is rarely talked about, but there are plenty of research firms very concerned about the security of digitally connected cars, especially in an autonomous world, protecting them from hackers.
So we take information security extremely seriously.
So if you want to be like Elon and Tesla, you should take your own information security very seriously as well. I think most of us that have kept up with the Twitter files can agree we're headed toward a place with very little actual privacy. Between the government and big tech, our every move is being watched online. That's only one of the many reasons I'm still using Surfshark in 2023. Yes, they're the sponsor of this video, but I've had many other offers to switch since I first started with Surfshark back in 2021 after hearing Matt Farrell talk about it. The value proposition is honestly incredible for less than $3 a month if you use my link below. Ashley and I love to travel, and even though we haven't much lately, Surfshark can help us save money on flights and hotels and helps us travel securely anywhere we go. Speaking of privacy, Surfshark encrypts your internet activity so no one can track or steal your data. Surfshark will also hide your location by changing your IP address to mask your real location so nobody can track you. This also allows you to unlock new libraries of content safely and securely from anywhere in the world. And you know about the clean web feature, say goodbye to those annoying ads that make some websites unreadable. And these features only scratch the surface. And no worries, Surfshark could not be any easier to use. Surfshark now has a new deal, so go check it out and use my promo code Electrified for an extra 3 months free at surfshark.deals/electrified, linked below. And part of that security Tesla has developed stems from controlling its entire in-house operating system stack. One of the most slept on narratives at Tesla, because this is how Tesla is able to have so much real-time data on every aspect of the business when almost every other company, especially at scale like Tesla, is using third-party enterprise software. That Tesla speed that we always talk about, it's only possible because of this right here.
This is all internally written Tesla software. I think there are almost no companies in the world can do this because they do not have a very talented internal software teams.
When David Faber asked Elon if the IRA impact on Tesla would be worth around 45% of current EPS figures like some analysts have guessed, he said this.
I'm not sure I would say it's as good as, say, a 45% increase in earnings per share, or 40%. Is it significant? It's helpful. Yeah. It's helpful. I would say maybe it's half that or something.
Okay, but I mean,
20%
is quite significant.
Yeah. Of course, much has now been made about Elon saying Tesla will try a bit of advertising. Clearly, this shareholder base present was loving this idea.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes. Okay. Okay. All right. I wasn't expecting that level of enthusiasm.
This is most certainly going to be a new look for Tesla, and we actually got some color about how Elon sees this taking shape.
I'm not sure what the most effective thing is, except that, like I said, I believe that advertising should be informative about a product. It should be ideally aesthetically pleasing. It should be, beautiful. It should have some artistic element to it, and it should be something that you don't regret watching after it's done. And I think if advertising fits those criteria, that it starts to approach content, and that you want advertising that is as close to content as possible, such that you don't regret the time you spent watching it.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, Elon hasn't yet thought through the specifics here, but the hope is that at future Tesla events, Tesla shares slides and data on the impact or lack thereof with Tesla's advertising. We can't really argue there are plenty of features the general public is clueless about, and we know Elon will want to be educational with this strategy. Let people know that Tesla has the highest Euro NCAP scores ever seen, and that they also have a plan to get rid of even that last 2%. Or that Teslas are actually more affordable than many people still think. And perhaps most importantly, that it's a fact rooted in data that Tesla makes the safest cars in the world, and they keep getting safer with OTA updates for free.
There are amazing features and functionality about Teslas that people just don't know about.
This entire time, I've been in the camp that Tesla will advertise when they think it makes sense, and apparently that time has come. Data and targeting are crucial to advertising well, and Tesla has said data to make this very effective, along with endless exciting things to share with the world. I think a lot of people will like this new look Tesla. Perhaps the one project that will alter the perception and look of Tesla more than any other is Optimus. Yes, this new footage is very impressive and great progress is being made, but what people fail to understand is the same software Tesla uses for FSD can be transferred to Optimus, and Optimus will use the same hardware computer that the cars do. But no other company has a situation remotely close to this when it comes to data, training, and addressable markets. The best part about this, Wall Street is currently assigning a 0 to this business line that Elon said could one day have demand of 10 billion units. All I know for sure is that this business is worth far more than the $0 being attributed to it presently. The other argument for a project to vault Tesla into a different stratosphere is of course FSD and robotaxis, and we actually learned a bit more about what that business model will look like for the first time.
Who's making the money from that? I assume that's the value add you're talking about. Is it a revenue share? Do you have this model sort of planned out specifically as how it would look?
It's been in the Tesla terms and conditions for quite a long time.
Oh, it has?
So the owner of the car would make, it could be a 50-50 split or 70-30, I don't know. But the cars are, if you buy a Tesla car, it can only be used in the Tesla network. It cannot be used in someone else's network. So that means that if the car is able to be used 5 times as much, Tesla is likely to make basically 2 or 3 times the original value or sale value of the car in robotaxi revenue.
Right.
This is gigantic. As I said to the audience, it'll be like selling cars for software margins, because in fact it is software.
Right.
Instead of effectively having, say, 25% margins, it might be 70% or more. I think Tesla will have sort of a ChatGPT moment. Maybe if not this year, I'd say no later than next year.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. You're going to have a
sort of ChatGPT moment.
Oh, you will. In terms of suddenly it will.
Yeah, suddenly 3 million cars will be able to drive themselves with no one.
Right. It goes back to that. Right.
Yeah, and then 5 million cars, and then 10 million cars.
Speaking of products, we'll be getting a new look Tesla in the form of 2 new products coming soon.
2 new products that I think you will be very excited about. Both the design of the products and the manufacturing techniques are head and shoulders above anything else that is present in industry. But Elon's guess is that that will probably make in excess of 5 million units a year of these two models combined?
My guess here would be the compact and the van as presented at Investor Day, but hatchback and a different sized SUV are certainly in play as well. And yes, you can use AI to guess what this silhouette may look like, which is fun, but you can also highlight that it's just a silhouette of a Model 3, so let's just be patient and wait for the official product unveil. Elon did say the vehicle isn't being designed but is being built, which of course could mean many things. Regardless, that's 4 new Tesla vehicles in the next 2 years or so: Cybertruck, Roadster, and these 2 vehicles. Yep, that will be a new look. Yes, I said the Roadster because Elon told us the goal was to complete the engineering and design this year and hopefully start production next year, but that was not a commitment. He said it would be only a modest contributor to profitability.
But it will be sick.
Along those lines, Elon said track mode will be added to the Model X Plaid. Elon also mentioned Tesla Insurance should make its way to Florida later this year. Speaking of new vehicle production, Tesla just proposed setting up a new factory in India to make cars for domestic sale and export. No word yet on location or investment amount, but senior Tesla executives are in India this week to discuss local sourcing of parts and other issues. And we were told Tesla would be building another factory alongside Giga Mexico, so could this be it? Maybe. We'll see. Back in the States, Tesla just won a case in the Delaware Supreme Court to allow the direct sale of cars in the state. This is great news, and the list of states catering to dealers using antiquated laws shrinks, and I believe it's now down to 12 or so remaining. The job won't be done until that number hits 0. Also, the next time you hear somebody bash Tesla's 4680 progress and say it's too slow and they're not even close to battery day predictions, just remind them of this.
For Tesla to go from nothing to making a battery cell that we aspire to be better than any other battery cell on Earth, even when compared to companies where the only thing they do is make a battery cell, is obviously not a trivial exercise.
And 4680s have not yet been a constraint for Tesla, nor are they projected to be. One constraint that I would like to learn more about, though, is this.
There's some constraints on our ability to expand in China, and so we're making as many cars as we can. It's not a demand issue. The Chinese economy and the rest of the global economy are like conjoined twins. It would be like trying to separate conjoined twins. That's the severity of the situation.
At the end of the day, though, zooming out, it's very tough to argue that there would be a more exciting and or more important company to our future than Tesla.
But all of those, when you put this whole piece together, what this is, it's growth. I mean, each of these products are going after big addressable markets. And I would just put that up against, and when the debate about investing in this is that put that lineup, even if 2 or 3 of those hit, put that line up against any other car makers, and I think that Tesla still stands above the rest when it comes to growth opportunities. It's going to be bumpy, but they're going after such big markets, and they got such a good lead. I suspect that the momentum is going to shift more positively in the quarters ahead.
And no, Elon will not be stepping down as CEO.
And also, there's some rumors that you're thinking about stepping down as CEO. Please say it ain't so.
It ain't so.
And while we can clearly see many ways in which Tesla continues to grow, adapt, innovate, and create new looks, there is one way in which it won't change, and at least for me, it's something or someone rather that I can really respect and happily continue to support, even when his views may not align directly with mine. But at the end of the day, a refrain that we can continually repeat, the long-term future of Tesla is clearly brighter than ever.
You know, do your tweets hurt the company? Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position because, and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or are there advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you gotta stop, man, or, you know, I can't get these ads because of some of the things you tweet?
You know, I'm reminded of there's a scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
Great movie.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. And he says, offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care.
So you just don't care. You want to share what you have to say.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.